gathered here today at the Church of Burnout Nurses for one common goal, to chill the out and have fun.
This fall,
I said, can I get an amen?
Nurse Blake is back.
We are going to learn a lot about ourselves and our coworkers, but not our managers, because they are not here.
With an all-new comedy show.
Commandment number 1, thou shalt not consult WebMD before me. I would rather swallow 5 chlorhexidine wipes than care for a patient whose daughter-in-law is a nurse. I mean, sure, I gave you the wrong meds, but did you die?
Get your tickets at nurseblake.com.
Can I get an amen?
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Nurse Blake podcast. I am back. Can you believe it has been 3 years since the last episode? I remember dropping it back, oh my gosh, in 2001, 2002, dropped 40 episodes, received over 1.5 million downloads, and then chaos happened and life. I have so much to update you on, but I have missed every single one of you so much. That's why I love seeing you either on tour or at one of my events or NurseCon at sea, so we could hang out and catch up. But I have missed this podcast so much. Now listen, podcasting, it's a lot of work. I didn't realize how much work it is to run a podcast, record a podcast, edit a podcast until I did it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much. And at the time, it was just too much for me to keep going. So unfortunately, I did take a break. But after thinking about it and missing all of you, I said, you know what? I'm going to bring it back, but I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself to record either episodes every week or drop them on a Wednesday. So whenever I feel like it, I am going to pull out this podcast mic, pull out my, I don't, what do you call it? It's like a webcam recorder, and record a podcast. So there might be 1 a week, there might be 2 a week, there might be 3 a week. If I have a lot of shit to say or something wild is going on in like the nursing news, whether it be like a strike happening or something, you could catch me here on the Nurse Blake podcast. So make sure you subscribe, you join, that you download the episodes, and that you tune in and let me know your thoughts, whether it's in the comments or in the reviews. By the way, if you do review, leave me a 5-star review on this podcast, please. If you don't like the podcast for whatever reason, just send me a message and let me know what you want me to change about it. You don't have to write me a 1-star review. I mean, this isn't your hospital, okay? I'm just kidding. Even though if you are ever bored, I want you to go on Google reviews and look at your hospital and see the type of shit that's out there. Patients are so funny and they review hospitals like it's a hotel. Honey, the H doesn't stand for Hilton, honey. This is a hospital, not a 5-star resort. I'm here to save your life, not deliver you your, I don't know, gourmet breakfast on time with turnover service and down sheets. So, honey, relax. You're fine. We're saving your life, and that is what is the most important. If you don't know me, I'm Nurse Blake. I am a nurse. I am a real nurse. I have been a nurse 11 years now. I graduated from the University of Central Florida back in 2014. I went to community college, Seminole State Community College, and got my ADN first. Oh my God, I started my nursing prereqs right out of high school. Like that summer, I was doing my prereqs. I didn't go to like England or Australia to find myself. I was doing microbiology and anatomy and physiology, which was the hardest class ever. And I remember I had to take an elective and I picked oceanography. I think if I wasn't ever a nurse, like for a week in middle school, I'm like, oh, it'd be so fun to be like a meteorologist. So studying oceanography was, I don't know, apparently going to tell me a lot about meteorology. It absolutely didn't. I know now that like tides work with phases of the sun or something. Um, anyway, that's basically all I learned. And the only reason I passed that class, which was a hard fucking class for an elective oceanography, learning about the ocean, we got to have like one note card that we could bring into every exam. And girl, I had that font on number 2 handwriting. I put the whole fucking textbook and chapter on this one note card, and everyone would laugh at me. But guess what? Even though it was hard, I like passed that shit with 100. So thank you so much to whoever the professor was. Um, Anyways, I graduated with my ADN from Seminole State College. I started in 2012 officially, graduated in the summer of 2014. And at that time, I was also in a concurrent program, which I was getting my bachelor's at the same time concurrently through the University of Central Florida. So I ended up graduating with my BSN in December of 2014. And I just want to say the reason why I did that is because it saved me so much money. Like nursing school is so expensive. Like especially at these universities. And if I say like one more time, by the way, when it comes to this podcast, a lot of work that goes into podcasting is editing. This shit is going to be uploaded raw. Okay. I don't have time to edit. I do not like editing. And I want you to be able to see and hear my real personality. So, very little to no editing will be put into this. So I will learn to drop my like. So every time I say like, I will remind myself not to do it. I would say every time I say it, I would do a shot, but I don't drink anymore. And this goes into things I need to update you and talk to you about. I went to rehab. So we will talk about that. And I can't wait to get into that with you and let you know what that experience was like, what led me to rehab, what it was like in rehab and coming out of rehab and just a new found appreciation for life and appreciation for what I do and appreciation to my family and friends and to all of you. But you're probably like, what is going on? What is happening? If you haven't heard yet, I am announcing my new tour, the Nurse Blake But Did You Die comedy tour. I am coming to a city near you this fall. Tickets go on sale Friday, April 25th at 9 local time. But listen, if you don't want to wait and you want to make sure you secure yourself some tickets before it sells out, you can secure tickets during my artist pre-sale early on Wednesday, April 23rd at 9 a.m. local time with passcode NURSE. That is right. Artist pre-sale starting Wednesday, April 23rd at 9 a.m. local time with code NURSE, NURSE to secure your tickets. It's the But Did You Die comedy tour. It is going to be so much fun. I have worked on writing this show for the past 2 years now. I even had a lot of it written when I was on my last tour, Shock Advised, and which was over 100 shows. It was so much fun. If I saw you on the road during the Shock Advised tour, thank you so much for making the shows so incredible. And y'all make me laugh my fucking ass off every night. So thank you. I do have to say it's hard doing 100 shows, especially when you're in a new city every night and you're running your show and then you're on a bus and you're not with your family and friends for 4 months because you're on a tour bus, even though I was with my favorite cousin, lesbian cousin Mandy, every night, who was on tour with me. A lot of you know and love her. She came out on stage during the Shock Advice comedy tour. Unfortunately, she's girlfriend up right now. Hi, girlfriend. So Mandy will not be on the road with me this year for But Did You Die? But it's still going to be a lot of fun and still going to be gay because obviously I'm gay. So even though Mandy won't be bringing the lesbianism, I will be bringing all the gayness that you love at my shows. And just speaking on that, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be myself. Growing up gay in Florida, it's not the easiest. Could have been worse though. I've lived a very great and amazing and privileged life. There have been challenges, especially with coming out and my sexuality growing up. But I just want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to be myself and for the acceptance. And I hope that when you come into my shows or you come on Nurse Con at Sea, you feel that love and acceptance back because every single one of you are so amazing. So don't forget to get your tickets, all the details on my website at nurseblake.com. Last summer, Rehab, if you don't know, I checked myself into rehab last summer for 30 days at the Beachway Therapy Center in West Palm Beach, Florida. I remember one night I was in my condo. It was the seventh floor. I was on the ground, tile floor, losing it. I thought I was losing my mind. No positive thoughts, everything negative, everything dark, everything really, really scary. My whole life kind of flashed between my eyes one day, and particularly um, that night. And it was so eerie how small the world got. But luckily, I know my body, I know my mind. I've struggled with some of these thoughts and fears before, but never this bad and to this scale. So I said I need to do something. So I packed up a bag. I got on the Bright Line, which is a train from Orlando to West Palm Beach. And the next day, I was in the Beachway Therapy Center. 30 days. Right when I checked in, they go through all your bags. They take everything from you. They go through your clothes. They took my shampoo and conditioner. They took my hair dryer. They took my hairbrush. Oh, just while I was getting accustomed and getting settled in for the first few days, obviously, they have to make sure that everyone who enters the center is safe, that they're safe for themselves and for those around them. So thank you so much, Beachway, for making me safe and making me feel safe. But they also took my phone. No phone for 30 days. That's what I do. Like, I make content. I connect with my followers. I talk to my family and friends over text messages and social media. I knew it was coming though, and it was honestly such a relief. I think one of the problems and triggers that I have is being addicted to my phone and being on my phone. It causes me a lot of stress and anxiety. And if I look at my screen time, y'all, some days I'm pulling 9, 10, 11 hours throughout my day on my phone. How unhealthy is that? It's like all the dopamine hits boom, 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 phone, 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 notification, notification, email, phone, text message, call, email, phone, text message, call. It gets so tiring and it gets so stressful. And it's what is the next thing I'm going to post? What is the next comment going to be? If I post this, what are people are going to say? Whenever I post a video, I just spend time in the comments, right? And it was so bad, it was causing me so much stress and anxiety. I already feel my heartbeat, my heart rate, increasing now as I kinda talk about it and go through that. So, I honestly couldn't wait to give up my phone. I was so excited to give up my phone. I remember I was in the admin admission check-in area, and she's like, "It's time," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "To take your phone." I was like, "No! Take my phone. Please, 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 please take my phone. I don't want my phone." So they locked my phone up for 30 days. That's 30. That is 1 whole month. That is 4 weeks with no phone. It was the best experience ever. I found happiness, I found joy, I found peace at the Beachway Therapy Center. Obviously, leaving it and checking out after 30 days, you go back into the real world, right? And kind of that happiness can kind of fade and that peace and joy can kind of fade because you're going back into normal life, into regular society. But now I know I had found that peace and happiness and joy. I know what that feels like. So whenever I do get stressed, I know number one, I could always check myself back into the Beachway Therapy Center. They're incredible. But I know that feeling that it is going to be okay. It's going to take work. It's not going to be fucking easy. I need to reach out to my support system. But I know what that feeling of happiness and joy and peace is like. And I know I can have it whenever I want it. And I do have to say the first few people I met in rehab, actually the first 3 people I met in rehab were actually all nurses. And I think that nursing brings a certain breed and certain special type of person to the field of nursing because we spend so much time caring for others that we forget to care about ourselves. And while we might have had our own struggles and challenges growing up, I do think a lot of us go through some pretty hard times and it makes us want to help others so we don't feel that way. But we kind of mask and band aid ourselves by helping other people. And then we get so caught up in helping others that we forget to help and love ourselves. We forget to love ourselves. And that is so sad. And I really had to remember to love myself because I am important and I'm so fucking cool and I'm so fucking special. But when I met those other nurses, I was like, wow, it must be a profession thing. And I definitely think it is. And it's just a reminder to me that nursing can be hard. And it should be a reminder to every single one of you that nursing can be hard. You have to care for yourself. But at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, the first few people I met were nurses. I'm so happy that they were also there getting the help they need because the hardest thing I've had to do in my life ever, ever, and this is after filing for divorce. By the way, we have to get into that too. By the way, I'm single. I filed divorce from my ex a little over 2 years ago now. I don't even know if I want to get into it that much because that life and a part of me is kind of like over, and I'm so happy it's been over 2 years. I've been able to heal over these past 2 years. There's honestly not too much to say about it other than I'm so fucking happy. I have been in a relationship ever since I was 19 years old. And I was in that relationship for 12 years, married for 6. So most of my adult life I have spent with somebody. I've not know what it's like to be single or solo or eat dinner alone or to watch a movie by myself. But I've done it and it makes me so happy and I can't imagine being with somebody ever again. And I know I say that now. And even my divorce attorney is like, girl, I give you, she's like, I'm so proud of myself because I actually have proved her wrong. She's like, I give you 12 months. You're going to want to get married, but you're going to come to me because I'm going to write you a prenup. I'm going to make sure it's a pretty strong prenup. I was like, okay, girl. But I can't see myself being with anyone seriously right now in this moment or shit, fuck, being married again. Absolutely not. But back to rehab. And by the way, I want to say, um, what's great about Beachway is half the people were there for substance and the other half were there for mental health. I was there for my mental health, but honestly, I couldn't drink in rehab either. I was sober for 30 days and I wouldn't call myself an alcoholic, but I would drink my Jack and Cokes. I love Jack. I'm from Florida. I'm a Florida boy. So Jack Daniels and a splash of Coke, and I mean a small splash. I'm talking the girls who like brunch and order a mimosa, but just want a hint of orange juice. That's how I like my Jack and Coke with my Coke. I want the Jack to just feel like it brushed against Coca-Cola. I don't want a 50-50 portion of Jack and Coke. And so anyway, so I didn't drink when I was in rehab. And after I left, I just haven't had a craving for alcohol. So I've actually been sober for, oh my gosh, 8 months now, 7 or 8 months now. And it's been great. I have to say, even when I think of alcohol or just like talking about it right now, I'm like, oh, bleh. I can't even imagine what it was like drinking. Same with married, like being married. I can't even think about being married because it's so like a part of my old life now. But when I was in rehab, I thought that I was just gonna be doing, like, art therapy and, like, these sessions and just kinda, like, journal and read. It was so much more intense than that. They did a trauma assessment on me, and I was, encouraged to do their trauma program, which is a pretty intensive 4-week trauma therapy program. You're in these special trauma therapy sessions where you're hugging trees, you're doing, regression therapy where you're they put you in scenarios like if you were growing up, those very traumatic incidents you might have had in your childhood, you kind of recreate that and work through those scenarios. And it was honestly the best thing ever. So anyone out there right now, if you need to love yourself, if you need more time with yourself, please, 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 please take it. You deserve it. You are so deserving of love and not love from other people, girl. I am talking love for yourself, love from yourself. Be in love with yourself. There's nothing more sexy than loving yourself and feeling that love. Because listen, no one out there in the universe is able to give it to you but you. You can't rely on another man, no matter how fucking tall and sexy he is, to love you. You have to love yourself. So, this is just my mental health reminder to all of you that y'all are so important and so special. And don't forget to love yourself. Speaking of love, I got off NurseCon at Sea not too long ago. This is NurseCon at Sea 2025. We set sail to the Bahamas on Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas with over 3,000 nurses. It was so great and incredible. And I have to say, it is one of the most inclusive, fun, loving events ever. There's some people that I post about the cruise, and they're like, ew, I would never want to be on a cruise with 3,000 other nurses. Girl, then don't. You are not invited. I don't want that negative energy and that badass attitude on the ship anyways. So Nurse Kind at Sea is for all the nurses that just want to support one another. And that community is so positive and so happy and so welcoming and open. So if you are needing some love, listen, to show love yourself, sometimes you have to surround yourself with a really, really good support system. And honestly, NurseCon at Sea is that support system for me. So if you need it, you better join us on NurseCon at Sea next year. We are setting sail to Jamaica on Celebrity Cruise Lines, the Reflection. It is such a beautiful ship. We set sail April 27th through May 1st, 2026. We're over 70% sold out. So you better book now at nurseconatsea.com. Like I said, we are running our early bird special right now. You could get on the ship with a deposit as low as $99 down and pay over time. And with our early bird special, you are going to save $200 off your stateroom. Plus, everyone is going to receive a $100 on board spending credit. So jump on that shit right now. Speaking of love, let's talk about sex and let's talk about hookups, okay? I have people on social media. I asked you guys to please send me your hospital hookup stories, and wow, that shit is epic. I have some of the funniest stories that I want to review with all of you that are going to make you blush. They might make you cry. They may make you squirm. Let's get into some of these hookup stories. So, by the way, you should be following me on social media, like especially Instagram and TikTok, because I do these things where it's like category is. And every so often we do a category like hookup stories. So then everyone sends me all these stories, juicy stories that I'm able to share. I'll do like category is break room refrigerator. And then people send me pictures of the refrigerator and I commentate on them. Is commentate a word? I commemorate on them. I talk about and share things and comment on what you share with me, and I repost them to social media. So be sure to follow me for that. And speaking of hookup stories, and not speaking of hookup stories, I know we're going to get into hookup stories. This category is inspired by one of my good friends, EB. He is a creator and founder of Nurse Life RN. He is no longer here with us, but I miss him so much. A lot of you were fans of his and followed him too. I love you so much, EB. You are so, 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 so missed. I think about you a lot. I think about you a lot, man. So this is inspired by you. Hospital hookup stories. Number one, my coworker has been messing with someone from radiology quite often. But it doesn't surprise me because she messes with the whole hospital. Not you slut shaming. Anyway, somehow HR got a hold of her screenshots. Wait, HR got a hold of her screenshots? I guess the screenshots of their messages were them meeting in our Zen room, which was a dark, quiet room for employees to go relax during their break. Okay, I've seen some of these Zen rooms at hospitals. No one uses them. No one has time to take a break, anyways, to go lay in a massage chair. So get it, girl, for getting use out of your Zen room sex dungeon. Okay. And if you do get a chance to sneak away for 5 minutes, I'd rather have a stinky link, a stinky. I would rather have a sneaky link in the Zen room than try to eat graham crackers and patient peanut butter for 5 minutes. Like the hooking up was way worth more my time, way more worth my time. Um, we all know we all know what they were doing in there. Well, they ended up calling her out on it. Girls, what people, boys, guys, men, women, why are you jealous? Let her get it in, let her do her thing. Y'all ain't using the Zim room anyways. Well, they ended up calling her out. She lied, but they had the screenshots. How did they get screenshots from her phone? If HR was like, "Can I have your phone?" Absolutely fucking not. I would get a new job before I let anyone go through my phone. And she had badge in and out of the Zen room. Y'all had a badge in and out of the Zen room. That's ridiculous. So you give me a room to go take a break in, but then you want me to badge in and out. Get the fuck out of here. She so continues to do this. Good. Let her do it, even after being talked to. There are so many other things to worry about than someone hooking up in the Zen den. Next, I was a unit secretary. They were a CNA. I was 20 years old in a serious relationship. They flirted with me hard. We found an empty room and recliner, and I cheated on my significant other. Girl, you are messy. I know you're only 20, so I get it. You're learning, you're trying to figure out your body, you're exploring. I totally get it. I walked in the next night, left a note from the director, quitting on the spot and never looked back. Oh, girl, you quit. You got in there, you flirted, you had sex on the recliner. I hope you let your director know that you had sex on the recliner so they could sterilize the recliner. Chlorhexidine wipe that recliner. I was so dramatic back then. Yes, you were. I was going to say that is so dramatic for nothing. I've been happily married now for 21 years. Not the person I cheated on, but I still can't look at a hospital recliner without feeling guilty. Story number 3. Let's go. So, okay, you need to pay attention because this has got a lot of people, a lot of moving parts in this story. Coworker 1 slept with coworker's 2 husband. Everyone on the unit knows. This is now 3rd marriage coworker 1 has destroyed. Okay. Coworker 1 slept with coworker 2. This is a 3rd marriage that coworker 1 has destroyed. Is everyone following? Including her own first marriage, which she destroyed by swinging. How do you know so much about this girl? Are you a swinger too? And that's how you know? And then exclusively sleeping with the other man behind her husband and friends back. So my thing is like, is this all hearsay? Is this he said, she said, they said, them said, or like what is it? Because like are you getting the full story? Or are you just getting bits and pieces and trying to put it together like a puzzle? Next one. I was working weekends in ultrasound and feeling a tad lonely. All right, ultrasound. Now we know you get a little slow, so maybe you could pick up some extra shifts on the nursing unit and help us out up there. I pulled up American Pie on my laptop and went to town on myself. You went to town on American Pie? What? Now, I know some of the guys in American Pie are super sexy and hot. I remember watching American Pie growing up, and I'm like, damn, that I'm gay. I think that's when I realized I'm gay. Watching American Pie. I actually don't think my mom would let me watch it, so I have to like sneak in my room and watch American Pie. So I kind of appreciate this now. At work, absolutely not. And there's so many better options than American Pie Girl. A radiologist walked by the exam room. Oh shit, they caught you and asked if anything was happening. I breathlessly muttered, nope, it's all good in here. I bet it was all good in there. Here we go with another one. Um, okay, here it goes. I was a nurse on a med surge unit and I met this CT tech. I'm telling you, these CT techs, they're too hot, they're too sexy. One day, I would stop by and visit him on the way out. One night, we were in the old X-ray darkroom for some private time. Uh-oh, going to the movies in the old X-ray room. So sexy. At my hospital, we have sheriffs instead of security. One of the sheriffs is dating an ER nurse. Obviously, okay, slut. And I'm not talking about the ER nurse. I'm talking about the sheriff. Um, so he was dating an ER nurse, talking to a mom and baby nurse, and a side chick, aka med surge nurse. He was hooking up with a nurse from every unit. He is cleaning shop. And rumor has it HR has entered the chat for this one. Hey, you better watch it because I hear HR is taking your phone, going through your messages and your screenshots. Y'all better clean up your phones. I saw a cute medical intern admitting one of my ER patients. We ended up meeting outside of work at a club, became friends, and began hanging up on lunch breaks. I think they meant hanging up. Sorry, hooking up. Y'all were having sex on lunch break, probably in the Zenden. Did y'all have a Zenden? Things progressed. We would make out in the cemetery across the street. Why is there always a cemetery near the hospital? So listen, if you are locked out of the Zen room, if you don't have an old X-ray room to have sex in, just go to the cemetery next door. Oh, and they would hook up in the on-call room. That's also an option too. One shift coming back from break, a coworker saw me leaving the stairwell. Noticed I was flushed. Uh-oh. They asked if we were scissoring in the stairwell. Okay, this is a lesbianism story. 13 years later, we are married. And that's how we're going to end the hospital hookup stories on a good note. See, long, lasting, loving relationships in marriage could come from a hooking up hospital story. No slut shaming here. If you have a hookup story you want to share with me, DM it to me, please, on Instagram. I also have a hotline where y'all could leave messages. Now, write this number down. It is 904 586 8174. It is a voicemail. You could drop me a line. I'm talking about a hookup story. I want to talk about a celebration. If you're like, I just graduated nursing school, leave me a note. I will play it here for you. I will play it back for everyone. If you have a shout out, my coworker Tina is just retiring after 45 years, because it seems like a nurse named Tina will retire after 45 years. You want to shout them out, leave it a message on this hotline. That is 904 586 8174. 904 586 8174. Y'all, that was episode 1 of my new podcast. I am so excited y'all are here. I love you all so much. Don't forget to get your tickets for the But Did You Die comedy tour. This is a whole new tour with all new material. You can get your tickets at nurseblake.com. And also don't forget to register for NurseCon at Sea. We're going to Jamaica 2026, baby. NurseCon at sea.com and lock in that early bird special. That is all here. Don't forget to subscribe. Rate the podcast 5 out of 5, and I will see y'all next time. And don't forget, love yourself.